Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I have two wonderful friends with me today. My little brother, Andre, and my sister over here, Yvonne Brown. It's a pleasure to have you guys on my program tonight. You know, I love it. I love it. But we're here for a special reason. There's a very special event that's coming up called the Ebony and Ivory Ball. And they're coming on with me so they can tell me a little bit about how it started and all the information about it. So I'd like to introduce you to Andre and Yvonne. And Andre, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the event.
So first of all, thanks for having us. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. And the Ebony and Ivory Ball actually came about after a sad event happened. Our good friend, Edward Turner Jr., passed away in 2014. And Edward was, I would call, one of the original bon vivants. He was just a spirit that was lively. He loved fun,
people,
food, dancing, live performances. And he was my best friend. And a member of the church that I attend. And the reason why I'm even at that church is because Edward and his husband, they were going to that church and I wanted to find out what it was about. So I went to the church, and it is a wonderful church, United Church of Christ. Actually, it's a Center Church, or the first church in Hartford, Connecticut. Well, in 14, when Edward got sick and eventually died, I thought, you know, he used to do a lot of things that were beneficial to not only our church, but to the community. And one of the things he did was unofficially try to gather funds for kids at our church to go to the biannual synod of the United Church of Christ, the national event. So, you know, he would make sure that kids who wanted to go could go to that, because they were going to go there and find out more about God and bringing those kids closer to the church, to God. But life skills were happening there. Other trainings, like kids were learning how to present themselves, so leadership. So it was an important thing for him to do, and we knew after he died that we wanted to continue that work. And that's how we said, we need to come up with an event. And the friends that gathered together said, we need to come up with a name for our group, and we need to come up with an event. And it was Yvonne who came up with the name of the group. So,
That was the, what I have here, the, did you come up with a duet? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you want to tell me how you got involved? I'm sure it's probably
Well,
the same.
actually, the group of friends that had come together with this idea put our heads together and said, okay, we got to come up with a name, you know. And actually, we had went home and decided, okay, what are we going to do? So I started thinking, okay, how can we incorporate a name that would remember Edward and also incorporate the people that were working on this project. And so I started working and thinking, and I came up with DUET, which stands for Dedicated Undertaking for Edward Turner. And it incorporates his friends, his that he was close to, and the UCC portion, which is the United Church of Christ.
Right.
Members, some of them as well, that are helping us with this project.
So when DUET was formalized, we said, now what kind of event can we do? So we were thinking of he liked everything. He liked to go to live music concerts, Parliament Funkadelics, he would be there. Okay, we have T-shirts of his now from when he used to go to the concerts. He would have, at his 50th birthday party, he had a outdoor backyard old-time funk barbecue. And we were out there having some good time.
Oh, man.
But what the ultimate decision came to, the reason why we came to doing a ball in his honor is because he used to like to go to formals, expressly the one in Hartford, the Juneteenth at the Wadsworth Athenaeum that is sponsored by the Amistad Foundation there. And we called him Mr. Juneteenth because he would wear different tux every year, and he just had fun, styling all the time.
Love life.
So so we knew, we said, okay, we'll start off with a ball. And what could we call the ball? We went back and forth with names on what we could call the ball. And in my head, I just thought, you know, because Edward believed in diversity, people from all different ethnic backgrounds, as well as people with different sexual orientation, just a different type of group of people that would represent the microcosm of what this world is today. We thought Ebony and Ivory, because that would encompass brown people and people who aren't so brown. So that's how we came up with Ebony and Ivory.
Wow.
And we celebrated the first one in 2015. So this would be our fourth year? 15, 16, 17. Yeah, let's do the math.
I know.
This would be the...
Aren't you guys in the fourth?
17, 18,
This is the fourth annual?
This is the fourth annual.
Yeah,
It's
I came the
15,
second
16,
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice.
this is how we ended up doing it, and it's a wonderful, wonderful occasion that it's a labor of love. It really is.
Dedicated.
The first year I
Dedicated
came, it
friends.
was like, the first year I came, it was just beautiful to see everybody all dressed up, the different ways that people were wearing, the black and white, the music. It was just really nice. And I remember going to Edward's, what was it, a memorial service?
The first one,
the
first event we did in his honor was his celebration of life.
Yes.
And we want to differentiate that from a memorial service because Edward actually asked us, he said, some months after I die and after the funeral, I want you to have a celebration of life. And he purposely didn't want to call it a memorial service. He said, no, I want this to be a party where you guys are actually
And that's what you guys did, because I was there. I was there. It was wonderful. And the funny part about it is I never met him, but through everybody talking and all the singing and everything that happened that night, I felt like I knew him.
Yeah, and Teresa,
was...
that night at that celebration of life, I looked around and I thought, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can't do a celebration of life every year, but we have to do something to not just mark his being here on earth, but something that would continue the work that he was doing. So,
now, how do you guys choose the young people that would get the scholarship? How do you go about it?
Well, we don't actually choose them. This is the part where the UCC comes in, and they actually choose the children between the ages of 13 and 18.
Oh, okay.
And this is the Hartford Association of the Connecticut branch of UCC.
Okay.
And Debbie Kirk, who runs that program, she and her committee, I believe, they pick the kids. We're the fundraisers, and they
pick
fund us the kids.
How many kids,
bring us the kids.
would you say have gone through or have been blessed with the scholarship since you started?
What did he say? 12 to 18, 12 to 18 kids have gone, and because it's biannual, the first year we started, so let's see, we started in 15. So we started in 15. That year they had, by the time we had the ball, they had already gone. So that money went into an account. The Uncle E Fund is a line item on the budget for UCC. So it just went into the Uncle E Fund Foundation, and they hold that money till the next year when they can send the kids. So 12 to 16 or 18 kids have already gone.
Wow.
And because it is every other year, there's some money left each year in the fund for the following year. So we're hoping in 2019, when they go back, that we can send another dozen of kids. Now,
again, I've been to the event for 2 years. How do you decide, okay, what kind of music? I love the band or the,
Nat Reeves.
Yeah. I enjoy that so much. How did you decide on like what type of food you were going to have, what type of music you were going to have at this event?
So I'll start off with part of the music and you can do the other part of the music. Okay, so Nat Reeves, who comes in and does a set for us, and he accepts an honorarium. I want people to know that he doesn't take, we couldn't afford to pay him his fee. He's internationally acclaimed bassist. He's traveling many times when we're negotiating him about a date, he might be in Japan. So this guy,
Wow.
he does us a favor.
Wow.
And he's adopted our organization. He's adopted our event. He asked us, what day is it? Because I want to make sure that I don't
Wow.
plan to be somewhere else when it's time for you guys' ball. And this is how, I'm going to say, this is how God works. This is how God works. Edward and Larry lived in the same condominium complex as Nat and his wife. And that's how they knew each other. So when Edward passed, there was a vested interest, an allegiance to Edward and making sure that anything that we did in his name went well. So now Nat has adopted us, and every year now he does a set.
Wow.
He does a set. And then there's some other music that Yvonne will tell you about.
Yeah, so we start off the evening with Nat. Nice and relaxing, and people can sit and talk and, and enjoy his amazing sounds. This year we've added a new kind of dancing.
Okay.
We will be having actual ballroom dancing.
Oh, Lord, I better go practice.
Well, you're going to practice right there because we have a professional instructor that's going to come in and teach us. I believe it's the waltz.
Might be the waltz.
It might be the waltz.
Because that's,
Okay.
well, it's going to be something that'll be easy to
Yeah.
learn. Because I got 2 left feet. I have rhythm.
That mean I'm going to have to get a date or something?
Well, I
Who
mean,
would dance
I'll
with?
dance with you.
Okay, thank
Come
you.
on, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
finding somebody to dance with is not going to be the problem.
No, not at all.
Oh, nice. That is so nice.
So, I mean, we bust out with the Soul Train line all the time. We want to make this really a function where, you get other kinds of experiences. And if we invite people to a ball, we're going to have
Ballroom
ballroom
music.
dancing. Yeah.
Ballroom
That
dancing.
is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And then when the ballroom dancing is complete,
Uh-huh.
that's when you're able to let loose.
Oh,
You can
Lord.
kick off those silver slippers, those silver shoes,
Glass slippers.
glass slippers, and we put on Edward's amazing track that he actually put together. But over 10,000 songs
Oh, my God.
on that track that we danced the night away to.
We have a playlist that Edward
Yes.
left us that he didn't even know when he was doing it that he was bequeathing us this music. So whenever we sit around and try to figure out what music we're going to play, we have enough music to take us way into time. So we play his music, which is a mixture of soft jazz, R&B, soul, blues. He had different genres. Sometimes we might throw some gospel music in there. So there is music to dance to.
Oh, my.
There's music
Yeah,
to
and
dance
music is timeless. So it's it was good then, it's good now, and it'll be good in the future.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys about, how did you choose the food? Because I know it was a variety of foods there. So,
Well, it is. The food is their appetizer or appetizer type or hors d'oeuvres. We weren't looking for a sit-down dinner because the ball's time is at 7:30 p.m. We're of the mind that people have eaten already,
yeah.
so it's heavy refreshment as opposed to light refreshment.
yeah.
And they're out on a banquet table so people can do what they call grazing. You can just go by and get what you want during the evening until we take that off and the desserts come up there. And I'll start from the end and go to the beginning in regards to the food and talk about the desserts first because I want to. And I like to eat dessert first. So my dad is an amazing cook and baker. And so he bakes cakes for us. And another member of Duet, LaShawn, she bakes cakes. So
yeah.
there's homemade cake there. And pies and cookies, and then we buy a sheet cake that says Ebony and Ivory, and I mean we don't always have that. Sometimes I have Ebony, what do they call them, black and white cookies out there. So there is a bevy of dessert there, and if you have a sweet tooth, that's the place to be. But we only put that out after we clear off the other food. And the other food, they're all foods, and historically they've been foods that Edward liked.
Okay.
His favorite kinds of foods, pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go to
I
a
remember
bar.
the pizza.
Yeah, I know when we say we're having a ball and people see pizza, we're like, we don't care, you know.
It's plated nicely.
It's plated nicely, yeah, you know, your hearty foods. We got meatballs, we have wings.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs, he loved deviled eggs, so
Yes.
I have a commission of different people bringing their
Bringing.
different kinds of deviled eggs to the table. So we're picking foods that were, you know, you can use your hands and eat with. So it's formal, but it's not formal, and you're among friends, and it's, our event is not a big fancy schmancy kind of event. It's really some home cooking, some home music,
But you look fancy.
But
But
you
it
look
is,
fancy.
yeah, and
People
it's a grand. It is a grand
you know,
time. It's
it's a grand time.
Yes.
And people are on their best behavior and they're just enjoying themselves. And, you know, something that I know Edward would like.
Yeah.
And it's turning out that the crowd that comes, we have a core group of people that come every year, they're having a good time. So that's how we chose the food. And we're switching it up a little bit this year as we get more and more of it catered.
Yeah.
People bring in some of those same types of food with a little twist to it, but you know, Edward was known to try different types of wings and different types of meatballs and stuff. So we're keeping to the theme, but we're trying to just, you know, each year build upon what we had the year before.
Right, right. I know the place that you guys are having it this year is the same place where it first started.
That's right.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful church. So tell us about it, where the address and about the parking and all of that kind of stuff, so people
So
will.
you want to handle the address and I'll handle the parking? You like that?
I love sharing. She loves to share. Okay.
Yeah. Once again, the date is October 27th at 7:30,
Okay.
and it's at 60 Gold Street. Is it Street or Avenue?
Gold Street.
Gold Street. And it's
Yeah.
actually on the corner of Gold and Lewis. The church
Okay.
sits on the corner of Gold and Lewis.
And it's not the church.
It's the church
House, because the actual church or sanctuary is called the meeting house, and not to be mistaken, that's on Main Street. But this is down the street where our education offices are, classrooms are, our parlors for our fancy doings like this. And whenever we have a lot of different events, we have it in our church house.
Okay.
And the church house is at 60 Gold Street.
And to give people, just in case they not know what Gold Street, we're talking about downtown. It's downtown Hartford, right?
Downtown Hartford, and you can stand at the corner of Lewis and Gold Street, or at 60 Gold Street, and look across the street to Bushnell Park.
Yeah. You'll know
So
you're in the right place.
You can throw a rock over there.
And if you're coming down Main Street, it's right across from what's that, Wadsworth, or the library?
That's the
What is
Wadsworth
that?
Athenaeum across the
Okay.
street, and the Travelers is across the street from that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All
So
right.
if you find that area, you know you've gotten to Gold Street, and just come on down to Lewis Street, and you're at 60 Gold. It's at the corner of Gold and Lewis.
Now, if someone comes that's handicapped or whatever, they'll be able to.
We are handicap accessible.
Okay.
We're going to have somebody at the ramp on the ground floor, and that person will lead you in through the ramp, through a gate, to take the elevator upstairs to the second floor. I'm sorry, that's the first floor parlor. And the first floor parlor is where you enter the ball. We'll have a lounge there. You can get your ticket if you have it at will call. You've already paid for it, but we've got it in the box for you there. And then you go upstairs to the second floor parlors. There are two huge parlors that are next to each other, and that's where the dancing will happen. That's
ball
where
begins.
the actual ball is actually happening up there. So, yeah.
Oh,
And there's an elevator also that takes takes you to the second floor.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You don't
It's
have to
where we
close
began. It's home for us. We did go to another place which is equally nice. The parking is a little bit more accessible. But where we're at now, we're going back home. This is where
Okay.
it all started. And in regards to parking, there are 2 parking garages right there in the area, one on Lewis Street and one on Asylum.
Okay.
And one closes at 12 and one closes at 1 o'clock. So, you won't turn into a pumpkin. You
The vehicle,
you know,
yes, will
you
be
go to the
recognizable.
ball, go and get your car and go on about your business. But, it is parking accessible. It is handicap accessible. There's free parking on Teresa on the street as long as it lasts.
Okay.
But like with any city,
Yeah.
on a Saturday night,
Yeah.
and we are the capital city, and people don't realize it, but Hartford can get a little
Busy.
it can
Yeah.
get a little busy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you get there and you get you some street parking, that's good. That's free. If not, find the 2 parking garages, and on the back of each ticket sold are the locations and addresses for those parking areas.
Okay.
Time of operation, so on and so forth. If you
Okay.
go to our Facebook page, we also have information on there about parking, handicap accessibility, so on and so forth.
Your Facebook page is gonna. What would they look for the find the
Just
Facebook?
type in Ebony, go to Facebook and type in Ebony and Ivory Ball.
Okay.
And there may be one from another time on there, but you can see quite clearly which one is 2018.
Oh, okay.
Go to our page. And if they do that, they can click that they're gonna, come. Like
Oh,
you did.
okay.
You clicked that you were gonna come. I saw
Yeah,
that.
you did.
Yeah. Yvonne, I think you did the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yvonne's like, click, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll definitely be there. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Like what else do we need to?
The attire,
Oh, yeah,
we
let's
just
talk
want
about
to.
the clothes.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We want everybody to come, in their black and white ebony fashion, ebony and ivory fashion, And it doesn't matter what it is, any combination of black and white or black and ivory, all black, all white, whatever you're choosing. You can
Okay.
come in gowns, you can come in, cocktail dresses, men can come in their tucks and tails,
Or black suits.
black suits,
Your finery.
Yeah, and once we're all together, and everybody's in there, you'll see the different styles and the different fashions, but it looks beautiful.
It always amazes
Everybody
me.
looks beautiful.
It always amazes me how people take a theme and how they're creative with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I saw the first year, a young lady came and she had on this jacket and it was bedazzled, but all like black sequins and and pants and these shoes. It was like, I didn't even know you could dress pants up to look like that. It's like, okay.
Yes, women can.
Come on in.
You feel so good when you're all dressed up.
Yeah.
You do,
you know.
and you see
Yeah.
people in a different fashion that you don't
Yeah,
normally see
yeah.
them, in their everyday attire, and everyone is feeling good and smiling and really having a good time. It's good to
Yes.
get dressed up once in a while, and have fun in a different kind of way
Yeah.
like that.
I like to say, good food, good people, nice clothes, good time.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
And for a great
and
cause.
And for a
good
great
cause,
cause,
Yeah,
yes.
Great
yeah,
cause.
yes.
You're doing something to help. You're making a contribution. And since we talk about contribution, we segued into that. There's some people who just can't make it because they have something else to do. Well, there is a way to go ahead and donate, and that information also appears on our site.
Okay.
And if you want me to, I can make sure I can provide that for you too. So people who can't make it, they can still make whatever kind of contribution that feels good to them.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Okay.
And the ticket prices for the ball itself are
Who you contact for the ticket
contact
prices?
contact Eventbrite. They're online.
Okay.
And also, there's information for Edward's
Larry.
husband, Larry Remy, and on the site, and I'll provide it to you later on, his email address.
So now, will we be able to put the email address on the program?
Yes.
And okay, we'll do that.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we can't announce
Yeah,
prices
I
on cable. I mean,
forgot.
community television.
I
but
remember that there's a chance. I mean, that night they'll have good food. There'll be some good music, and there'll be chances for them to get prizes.
Yeah.
And we talked about that. That's what I was remembering. I forgot
Okay.
the other part.
And pictures too.
Oh, that's
Zini.
right. Yeah, beautiful
Yes.
pictures.
man, they can go-
Beautiful,
We're going to have a
beautiful.
photo booth a studio,
Photo
really,
studio.
that they can go in, and you've seen those pictures.
Yes.
They come. I mean, they make us look.
Professional,
They make
yeah,
us look really good. She's got all the lights.
Yeah.
She's got little. I don't know if she has props, but like chairs that you sit. She sets you in, and she knows how to pose you.
Yeah.
You might feel like I am going to fall if she leaves me standing like. But you look at the picture, and you go, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean.
She makes everyone look phenomenal.
Yeah,
I tell you, it's.
Yep.
And people like a good picture, and,
Yes.
and it's one of the things that people enjoy the most in of the activities in that. I don't. Just about everybody goes to have their
Goes
picture
and have-
taken.
Well, there's a
Picture taken.
line. There's
Yeah.
usually
There's a line. There's a
before.
waiting.
Wait,
Yes.
yeah.
And you can get your picture right there too. She
Yeah.
has it set up where you can
Yeah.
get your picture and take it home with you. Take your little memoir right home with you.
We have complimentary giveaways just because you came and spent time with us. It's like, take this with you.
Yeah, so this truly is a worthwhile event, and I'm just really looking forward to it. So, is there anything else you guys want to say? Any other information that we may have forgotten or didn't think about?
I think we pretty
Yeah.
much just know that it's a good cause, and you're going to have fun if you come spend time with us.
And I invite you to bring a friend too, because you're going to guarantee you're going to go home and tell them about, oh, you should have been there. You should
Yeah.
have come, and invite someone to come with you.
Yes, yes.
To
And
enjoy
come,
this.
and come now before it becomes this big thing that you can't get a ticket for. Yeah, really, get in on the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Get in on the ground floor of this. Yeah, really, because it'll get to a point where it's like, oh no, you've been coming all the time. I want to make sure you have a ticket. Because I'm
That's right.
already putting tickets aside for people who say they want to come. It's like, okay, all
Well,
right.
I know I'll be there.
Mhm.
I'll be there. So, well, thank you guys so much for coming on my program.
Thank you for having
Oh,
us.
thank you.
Thank you very
I
much.
really appreciate it, my brother,
This
my
was
sister.
wonderful. We're glad to be able to do this.
Oh, I'm happy to have you guys here, believe me. So thank you for watching tonight, and remember to get your ticket, go online, and come. So it's such a great cause. You're helping young folks. So I'm asking you to go out there, get the information. We're going to have the information on the show, so you'll see where you can, who you can get in touch with. But thank you again for watching, and have a great night.